an official transfer request to be leaving the side of PSG, and he wants out in here onto the Rokani Media Football. Good morning, 24th of June. I think it's the last Monday. Not so. Let me see. Today is 24th, and on Sunday is going to be 30th, meaning that Monday is going to be first of Monday next week is going to be 1st of July. Not so? Because today is 24th, add 6 days left, it's really going to be 30th, and this month ends on 30th, and we all know to it that a lot is going to be happening into the mix. So welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. This is the channel that brings you your latest news and information as far as everything is concerned, and this is the football news show. Javi Simons transfer request. We are going to be talking a little bit of Kane, obviously criticized for what I was going to obviously be doing for the for the country of England, and how he has going to obviously be given what we call a guarantee by the new manager of Bayern Munich. Then in the mix, we are going to be talking Ika Gundogan, and we are also going to be having a say about Gabriel Martinelli and who his idol was. Most of you don't know who the idol of Gabriel Martinelli was, but the idol of Gabriel Martinelli is now known to the world, and we are going to be comparing their style of play on whether they really have a similarity, because most players really find themselves so much attached to players that get so much attached to players whom they really have a lot of identities, or they identify with in as far as the skill, and how they do their work. They try to emulate them. We thank God for the gift of life, the Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. Most of you thought I was lying when I said I'm going to come in and obviously do a live video, but I was not joking. It was really one of those lives that I had will to do, and you people are really gonna enjoy them in here onto the Rokani Media Football. Let's see close to 300 likes. Smash this video, and don't forget to subscribe. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, right? And it's a new week, it's a Monday, and I pray to it that God energizes me such that obviously give you an early Kickstarter, lunchtime video, around evening video, and maybe late in the night we have live streams and really talk to you, because I want to see how many people can we get live when we are streaming in the peak hour. The last time I did a live video, I did it in the morning. When I did it in the morning, we almost hit 100 people watching in live, and that meant that if I told you obviously go to the peak hour, we are going to be having like 200 people, 300 watching in live. So that's my aim, but I know all is well, and most of you are really doing well. If at all things are not going on well, don't really get paralyzed. And guess what? Scotland has been knocked out of the Euros. By the way, it is really shocking that a team that I've gonna hit obviously tip to be one of the dark horses is out. Poland is also out. Oh my God, all my dark horses are out. You get? Did I talk about Switzerland? Which other dark horse did I talk about? I need to obviously go and rewatch my video. But my favorites all are still in. I told you my top favorite is France, followed by England, Germany, and Portugal. Those are my 4 favorites to win the league, to win the Euros. That is it. So that is it. Scotland is out, right? Scotland is totally out. Poland is out, and we wait to see to it that which other team is really gonna be out tomorrow or today when the Euros really take center stage. Germany have gone ahead to draw with Switzerland by 1-1, and guess who has been named the man of the match? It has been none other than the man himself, called Granit Xhaka, the former player at the club of Arsenal. So Scott McTominay and Scotland have gone ahead to lose to Hungary, and they're totally out of the mix. Now let's obviously get into the news. Fabrizio Romano dropped it, and it was a bombshell by the time he dropped it. He told us that an exclusive Javi Simons has officially informed PSG about his plan to leave the club this summer. Key detail: it will be a loan move until 2025, as mentioned since April. Bayern and RB Leipzig both pushing to sign Javi Simons. Now, we all know that Arsenal is one of those teams also that are pushing to sign Javi Simons, but it looks like Bayern Munich and RB Leipzig are really far off from Arsenal, and Arsenal is really taking its time. I don't know what is really holding Arsenal on. I don't know why. I don't know what is really holding Arsenal back, because if you look at the players that Arsenal should be getting in for, it should be Javi Simons. I told you in the previous video I did about Javi Simons that if there is a player that Arsenal should get in, it should be Javi Simons, because he's available on loan. He doesn't earn a lot of money, you know. He earns £25,000 a week, something that Arsenal can really offer fully and obviously getting the player. But it looks like Arsenal is really very reluctant onto what player they need, and you still ask yourself that all the wingers that are being linked to Arsenal, right, other teams have been mentioned as the ones leading the race. That of Olise, it was Chelsea and Bayern Munich leading the race, and Olise has found himself playing for Bayern Munich next season. Nico Williams, one of the players that Arsenal appreciates, he's being linked to none other than, right? He's being linked to none other than Chelsea. And his head Chelsea are really serious onto Nico Williams. You understand? Then the other player that you have to obviously talk about hugely is what is his name? Is Pedro Neto. For Pedro Neto, we haven't gotten any update about which team is really in for him. You get? And which other players left? So when you look at Javi Simons, it looks like Bayern Munich and Liverpool and RB Leipzig are pushing to obviously have him on loan for one more season. So what does it mean for the club of Arsenal? That means they haven't obviously tried to attack. The only deal they're really attacking hugely is that of Victor Gyökeres, as reports from Portugal are really indicating. So we wait and see how this is happening, and we anticipate that the push that this guy is going to have to put in through as far as his transfer is concerned, to really put in a transfer request and tell PSG that I don't want to be here, will obviously get Arsenal where they want to be. But maybe Arsenal is being held back by the decision of a player and PSG known to obviously be sold on a permanent. The player wants to get a permanent deal, but PSG are not really giving him a permanent deal. And I tell you, they might lose him out on a free, because he's left with 2 years on his contract. So if at all he goes out and plays one other year outside PSG, by the summer of 2025, that is 30th June, the player will be left with only how many years? Will be left with only 12 months on his contract, and they're going to lose him on the cheap. And I don't know the reason as to why PSG don't want to really give this guy a permanent departure. I've not yet gone ahead to understand that. But if I'm PSG, the best thing I would have gone ahead to do for Javi Simons is to let him leave on a free. That is it. You let him leave on a free, and then you look for something else to do. I tell you. So that is PSG for you, and the player is like, I don't want to be here. Even when he was at PSG and returned, because he went ahead to obviously have a very good season with Ruud van Nistelrooy at PSV, he came back with a decision of not really staying at PSG. You understand? So the player wants out, and PSG is really holding up on him. I don't know what the decision is, but I think right now there are teams that can really offer PSG close to 50 million euros in this player. And by next season, I don't believe that this player will be in a very good mode to obviously extend his contract and put in more and more efforts, especially if they obviously keep the player. And I believe the player might really leave on a free. You get? So we wait and see how that pans out, but nothing is really gonna stop him from obviously leaving PSG, and I think PSG is also okay with him leaving on a loan, and I don't know why they don't sell him. And if at all they don't really want to sell him on a permanent, they might find themselves exposed to a situation of Kylian Mbappe. You remember the situation of Kylian Mbappe where PSG found themselves in? Mbappe wanted to leave, right? After him wanting to leave, this side of PSG kept him around, and there was money on the table, 160 million euros, bid put in the summer of 2022 by Real Madrid, and this side said no. You get? So if they had gone ahead to get in that money, 160 million euros, I think it would have gone ahead to obviously act better for the side of PSG, because they would have gone ahead to use that amount of money hugely. And the one that he's going to be getting as a sign-on fee, from Real Madrid, I think they won't take even the lion's share of the 150 million euros that Real Madrid has gone ahead to use to sign Kylian Mbappe. So by so doing, they have to obviously come out and know that they are doing something wrong, right? So Arsenal wake-up call has gone ahead to obviously be given to them, because the player is like, he wants to leave, and they have to obviously put in a very good shift in there for you. So we wait and see how that pans out, but it's a wake-up call for Arsenal, because as stories coming from Germany, looks like Leverkusen and Bayern Munich and RB Leipzig are really ahead of Arsenal as far as this deal is really concerned. But you cannot obviously say that Arsenal are not still into this deal, because the player came out and spoke it out himself yesterday night after the game of France that he's going to make his decision after the Euros. But that is just said. There is background work that is being done by his agent talking to these teams. So we wait and see how that happens. But I tell you, a decision can even be made this week before even Netherlands finds themselves out of the Euros. So Arsenal needs to obviously wake up and really get this deal over the line. And Plenty Goal from Germany has also gone ahead and emphasized what Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to tell us. Javi Simons and his management have sent positive signals to Bayern. That's why the club is optimistic. Xavi is very open to a move to Bayern, provided everything falls into place. Max Elba has a great relationship with the player, his family, and management. Bayern are focused on a loan deal with an obligation to buy. So Arsenal has to come out and really react hugely, if at all they are to get this deal over the line. And if this deal slips out of their hands, it won't be a confirmation of the incompetence of Arsenal. It will be a confirmation that maybe Javi Simons was on the list, but he was not the marquee right winger for the club of Arsenal. And I told you, Arsenal is going to really have a very hard time to obviously choose on who they should even go in for, because Pedro Neto is on the list, and you see how good Pedro Neto is looking in the Euros. Javi Simons is also looking good, and Arsenal have to sit down and make a decision on who is going to be coming through to compete with the side of Bukayo Saka, one of those players that has gone ahead obviously do his needful and really put in a shift that we've all gone ahead obviously do the needful. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But I believe Arsenal should obviously come up and really do the needful and really tell us exactly where they fall. This summer transfer window, we haven't gotten the preferred winger to join Arsenal. Arsenal appreciate the players, they have them on the list, and we don't know why they are not in for them right about now. So that's what is happening at Arsenal right about now. So we'll leave it at that and obviously go to the side of Harry Kane. Harry Kane has been criticized for his dip in form while representing the national team for the side of England. That is Harry Kane for you. So Harry Kane has come out and really responded to the pundits that are really giving him huge criticism on his performance at the national team of England. He said, "I know I haven't performed as good as I wanted to perform, that's for sure, but that's happened at various stages of my career for club and country. It's never about individuals in team sports. It's about what you have to do as a group to try to improve and get better." So I understand what he says, but people know what this guy is all about. Harry Kane is all about goals, and there is something bad that Gareth Southgate has gone ahead obviously get him into as a new system of England. Harry Kane has always gone ahead to thrive as a player who really involves himself in the build-up of the game, and his link-up play has made him score those goals. He's not a bad finisher, but most of the times, if you don't have a team that creates very many chances, you might find him very inactive like England. I think I've only gone ahead to see England doing a deliberate effort to really play in this guy I think it has only gone ahead to be twice. When they're playing against Serbia, that header that was really fisted by the goalkeeper, and then the goal he scores against Denmark. But the rest is not really great for him, and I think it's high time Barry Southgate got to know that Harry Kane should obviously come in through and get involved in the build-up play and really go into those pockets of spaces and maybe utilize the space of Bukayo Saka, because if he continues with that system, it's really not gonna really work out well, because Harry Kane is not being fed in, and every time you want him to be that main striker who waits for those balls to obviously finish them, and you don't really bring them to him, then Harry Kane won't be very influential as you want him to be. That is Harry Kane for you. So I think Harry Kane is right. It's supposed to be a team game, and England has only gone ahead to score 2 goals in the tournament. The first goal was scored by Jude Bellingham, and the second one was scored by Harry Kane. By far, all by their standards, that's really too low. They need to obviously elevate and put in another gear that everyone will obviously be looking at to see to it that everything really goes into the right direction in there. So after that, Harry Kane was asked about Vincent Kompany, and he told us the following: that Kompany telephoned me after he got announced just to catch up and introduce himself before the tournament. He knows I'm focused on the Euros and England, but he just wanted to reach out and kind of ask my opinion about last season and how I felt since I've been here at Bayern Munich. He gave me a background on what he likes to do and how he wants to play. It was just a short 10-minute conversation, just an introduction. At the moment, I'm focused on England, but once I'm back at Bayern, it will be great to start a preseason and get new ideas from him and see how he wants to play and his vision for the season ahead. I'm always learning from different coaches, and I'm sure I'll learn from him as well. So one of the things that Harry Kane has gone ahead to master is all about the way he speaks in public. He has gone ahead to master that art, and that craft of his has gone ahead to obviously see him really become a more and more of a speaker, like an inspirational speaker. He doesn't really get questions wrong. He has been the captain of Spurs for some long time. Then he's now the captain of England. Don't expect anything wrong to obviously slip out of his mouth, because he's one of those that has always gone ahead to come in through and put in a very good deliberate shift into the mix. That is Harry Kane for you. So when you look at Harry Kane and Vincent Kompany, they at a certain point played against each other. Belgium versus England, Tottenham Hotspur versus Man City. They played each other very many times, but he has respect for him because the management of Bayern Munich has gone ahead to see a lot into this guy, and they want to see to it that he obviously goes in to really manage him, and he's okay, and he's waiting to obviously get in the preseason to obviously do the needful. But Harry Kane is really one of those players that has to come out and step up to the occasion on Tuesday. That is tomorrow, when England is playing against Slovenia, right? The moment he slips off, then his team will really see itself going to play a hard team. They need to top the group, and to top the group, they need to beat Slovenia and pray to it that Denmark and Serbia obviously go into a stalemate. All else, they have to beat the side of Slovenia of Benjamin Šeško by very many goals. That's what they're supposed to be doing right about now. So that is it coming in through from the man known as Harry Kane as far as Bayern Munich and his performance at the Euros is really concerned. But you never know. In the Euros of last season, of 2021, I think he started to score goals, I think in the third game, all the round of 16, in the knockout stages. That's when he really started to score goals. But I would love to see a deliberate effort coming in from different players scoring very many goals. If they're not conceding many and they're not really scoring many, it's not bad, but they need to obviously elevate and feed in Harry Kane to do the needful for them. Gabriel Martinelli has come out and really spoken something important about his young career and who his idol was. He told us that I always liked Cristiano Ronaldo. As a child, I watched his games at Real Madrid. He's a player who always inspired me. I liked him because of his mentality and everything he achieved and continues to achieve today. So, it doesn't end here, right? Ronaldo is going to inspire very, very many people in the world. You get? Very many footballers that are really playing as forwards. One, even those that are really playing as wide forwards and center forwards have gone ahead to be inspired by this guy called Ronaldo, because of what he has gone ahead obviously put in as a shift for his club and what he has gone ahead to put in through for his country. By the way, he has inspired very many. And when you look at the style of Martinelli, he doesn't have those step offers, right? But when you look at how his game is direct, when you look at his intensity and his shooting tactic or technique, it has Ronaldo hallmarks written all over it. That is it. So that he is for the man known as Gabriel Martinelli. And he's really one of those that you have to obviously appreciate for what they've gone ahead to be doing for the previous times. They've gone ahead to put in a shift to obviously represent the Brazilian national team and the side of Arsenal, you know. And last season really had a very bad season, and we anticipate that he cops up. Let this Copa America act as his preseason, such that by the time he comes to the preseason, he has already gone ahead to do his preseason, because Brazil is really a team that you feel has all what it takes to obviously do the needful in every competition, and he should be using this competition to obviously get to where he deserves to be. And they are yet to play in the Copa America. And when is Brazil playing its first game? Let me check here. Argentina has already played. They won their first game by 2-0. Mexico won yesterday. They beat Jamaica by 1-0. USA is leading Bolivia by 2-0. Then Brazil is playing tomorrow with Costa Rica. You get? That's when they're playing their first game. And I believe he's really going to be one of those players that Brazil is going to be looking at to give them the best that they deserve. But the mentality of Ronaldo, if he holds it well, then he's really going to be one of the best players in the world. And that is the man himself, who goes by the names of Cristiano Ronaldo. Now you know who the idol of this man is. Now, Germany has gone ahead to obviously beat the side of they've gone ahead to draw the side of Switzerland, and they've gone ahead to top the group. Switzerland took the lead, by the way, and Germany just went ahead to equalize through Falkirk from the bench. Now, Toni Kroos has come out and spoken about their main aim going into this game of football. He has said, "I'm happy we made it, and the end. We made it in the end, and we won the group. We've shown that we believe in ourselves until the end, which is important for the team. I don't think we deserve to go behind. We had good control of the game and rewarded ourselves in the end. Switzerland is a good team, but we controlled the game and conceded with the first chance. I'm totally happy with the team." So, for Germany, they went ahead to obviously do the needful, and they put in a very good shift in there for you, and they've gone ahead to top the group. And for a team that went ahead to obviously start it off with scoring, was it 5 goals? 5 goals by 1 against Scotland. It was like an announcement that we want to top the group, and it would have gone ahead to be very painful if at all they lost to the side of Switzerland in a game like this, and it would have gone ahead to worry very many fans of Germany. But they have every reason to worry, I tell you, because Switzerland is one of the bogey teams. Even last time, they knocked out France. You remember? Through penalties, where players like Mbappe went ahead to miss out on a penalty. So, it is really one of those moments that has gone ahead to show the huge impact of the manager of the Germany national team. That is Nagelsmann. You know, Nagelsmann has gone ahead to obviously put in a very good shift, and that shift has resulted into him really performing very well. And the group has ended with Germany having 8 points, Switzerland is having 5, Hungary is having 2, and Scotland is having 2. You understand? So I think Hungary, Scotland is having 2 points. They lost 2 games, drew 1. So that is Scotland for you. And as it stands, these are not the points, I'm sorry to say. What Germany have got, they're having 7 points, and they are seated top of the table, right? And Switzerland is having 5, Hungary is having 3, Scotland is having 1, and Hungary has to wait and see whether they can make it to what we call the best losers, because they're going to take in 4 best losers in this tournament. But most of you might be asking me, Rokani, what was the match stats? Let me flash them onto the screen, and you obviously see them with your naked eyes, right? That is it. That is it. We are having Switzerland had 4 shots, Germany had 18. That's the total control of the game that Tony Cruz was talking about. 3 shots on target by Switzerland and 3 shots on target by Germany. 33% ball possession by Switzerland and 67% ball possession by Germany. 331 passes completed by Switzerland, 636 passes completed by Germany, 79% passing accuracy by Switzerland. Germany had a passing accuracy of 89%. Then 14 fouls committed by Switzerland and 12 fouls committed by Germany. Then 3 yellow cards to the side of Switzerland, 1 yellow card to the side of Germany. No red cards were issued in the game. 2 offsides to Switzerland and 2 offsides to Germany. 2 corners to Switzerland and 9 corners to the side of Germany. It shows you that Germany was really having everything on its side, though it fell through, and they failed themselves from obviously getting to where they deserve to be as the side of Germany. So that's it. And let me go into the comment section. Brian Walter, good to see you live. All right, thank you. Then Brian Walter, I appreciate your work. I wish I can subscribe to your channel more than 100 times because you are always up to date. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, but you can't. You can only subscribe once. Now, you've told me that the kind of signing I want in Arsenal are just 3 players. Mohamed Kudus to compete with Saka, Bruno Guimaraes, and Kekezi Milos of Bournemouth. Then we are good to go because we don't need a striker. I believe that the last signing that Arsenal should think of should be a striker. I've gone ahead to say this, but people believe I'm really shite. But I'm not shite. Arsenal's last signing they need should be a striker. They should get in better and better and better players, right? To obviously coming through and do the needful, like a right winger to compete with Saka, like we've talked about Mohamed Kudus. I think he should be one of the best versions, obviously coming through and compete with Bukayo Saka, having gone ahead to put in a very huge performance in his debut season in the Premier League. Then the other player you have to talk about is Bruno Guimaraes in that midfield. I think they need him. And Kekezi Milos, the left back. I think Arsenal will be having a more fluid flow if they get in a left back who can obviously put in crosses like you see what Benjamin White does. Benjamin White had close to 4 or 5 assists last season, right? And if at all he continues to be doing that, and the left side of Arsenal is doing that and putting those deliveries, don't you think Arsenal will be a more threatening side than how it was last season? And I think that's why Fabrizio emphasized on it that Arsenal are looking in for left backs. You get? So we wait and see how things pan out. But the side of Arsenal, I think 3-4 players are really very pivotal. And I think Arsenal, for it, they've gone ahead to make a striker their priority target, because there is a story of Roy Parler that I did about him meeting Edu, and Edu told him that 100% they are in for what we call a center forward. You get? And that is the side of that is the stance of Arsenal. So I know, Walters, you are right, but for Arsenal, they're going to get in a center forward first. That's why they had even gone ahead in for Benjamin Šeško first, meaning that Arsenal's first player to come in through is going to be a center forward if all goes on to as to plan. You understand? So let's wait and see how things pan out, but that's what we had for you in here onto the Rokani Media Football. Thank you, Brian Walter, for obviously watching him through, and everyone is going to watch this video later. That's the live I promised to you, and I think it's really very, very detailed, and it's still on point. Bye bye,